Hi, dear students. We are going to learn about the need and importance of sustainable growth of destination, which is the fourth subunit in the first unit, Introduction to Tourism Destination. In this subunit, we are going to learn what is sustainability, what are the definitions and different concepts of sustainable growth, and how it can be applied for the growth of the tourism destination, how it is equally important for the development of destination. So let us move towards learning the sustainable development definition. That it's a concept which was given by United Nations during Bertland Commission report in 1987, which says that development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So with the definition, we can clearly understand that we are talking about the needs of the present society, needs of the present time, and the needs may be in different scenario. It may be related to business, it may be related to our daily life, it may be related to the tourism destination as well. So the definition clearly says that we can meet our daily requirements with the available natural or man-made resources in such a way that it should not affect the future requirements or the requirements of the future generation. That means we need to use the natural resources in such a way that either it can be renewed, either it can be generated further also, or it should be available for future generations also. We should not deplete the entire natural resources in our own lifetime, but we need to think about the future generations who are coming. They may also need these natural resources equally. Now we focus upon the development, sustainable development. It is meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. In addition to natural resources, we also need social economic resources. So here we need to focus upon sustainable development from several angles. It's not related to only the natural resources, although we talk most of the time about the natural resources in the name of sustainability, but it is also related to the social development. It is also related to the economic sources also. That means the different sources which are responsible for economic activity or employment generation. In social resources, we can take account of social harmony, cultural aspects, or the social integration between the community and society, which is coming from long generations. In social resources, we may also take the indigenous knowledge or the different types of knowledge related to medicinal plants, related to practices, cultural and heritage practices which are there with people, that should also be continued with them and transferred to the future generations. Then only we may be able to transfer the historical perspective to the future generations. So basically, if we talk about sustainability, that what are the different areas through which we have to look for the sustainability. These areas are three, basically economic, environmental, and social. So these are the three categories from which we have to look upon sustainability, or we have to develop any kind of plan for based upon sustainable development. So these three areas, economic, environmental, and social, has been taken informally as people, planet, and profit. So here we can easily make a relation between economic and profit. There is a clear indication of relationship between environmental and planet, and social and people. We can see that these are very much interrelated to each other. So these are the three pillars which are considered as very important for sustainable development, sustainability practices. So what we need to do, all the policymakers or tourism development managers or state tourism departments always look at how they can come to a common point or how they can develop an integration between people, profit, and planet. In other words, we can say social, economic, and environmental, how they can bring all these three on a single platform where we are equally taking care about the people interest, local communities interest. We are equally taking care that we should gain some profit from the sustainable development process or sustainable development businesses at tourism destination, and it should not harm what the kind of practices which we are adopting, or the to the extent which we are using the environmental resources, natural resources. It should be used to such an extent that again it can be rejuvenated, or it should not be harmed at alarming level, so that it can be available for the future generation also. So in a nutshell, we can say that in the name of sustainable development, we need to come to a common point where people, profit, and planet, all three are taken care, being taken care. Now we can go in brief to these three pillars of sustainable development: economic, environmental, and social. We see that economic sustainability focuses on conserving the natural resources that provide the physical inputs for economic production, including both renewable and exhaustible inputs. That means economic sustainability should be brought in regard to the inputs which we are looking for the businesses, such as for any kind of economy generation, we need to have investment, we need to have infrastructure, we may need to depend upon the natural resources such as coal, tree, or petroleum goods. So everything is there in the name of natural resources, which can fetch us some kind of profit. So we have to look at how we are going to use it in different areas. Second is environmental sustainability, which adds greater emphasis on life support systems, such as to what extent we are going to harm the soil, air pollution, or water pollution is being created through the factories or human intervention or human activities. It may be the vehicles, it may be the factories. Third is social sustainability, which focuses upon human effects of economic systems, and the category includes attempts to eradicate poverty and hunger. That means in what ways we can generate employment, in what ways we can work through which social equality can be brought in the local community, in between the local community or anywhere else for that sake. So these are the three basic pillars which we have understood. Now we can see that whenever we talk about sustainable growth of tourism destination, we need to look into these areas, such as how we can grow the destination from economic point of view. That it means what kind of services we can keep, what kind of public amenities we can offer at a tourism destination which can get some profit, such as putting up different types of shops, putting up services, food joints, or selling the souvenir, or any kind of amusement parks or recreation. Whatever we are offering in, it should be in a sustainable way. Then we have to look for the growth of destination from environmental point of view. Since we are offering the services at a tourism destination, there may be generation of lot of garbage, there may be lot of crowd, there may be a lot of uses of natural resources which may harm the environment from one side, or maybe from another angle also. That also we need to take care. Whatever we are taking from the nature, we try to give it back. Growth of destination from social point of view also, we have to check that what kind of interaction will be there between the local community and the tourists who are coming to our destination. What kind of job opportunities will be there for the local community, how they are going to behave with the tourist. So these kind of things we need to look upon in the name of sustainable growth of destinations. Further, we see if we try to define the sustainable growth of destination in actual manner, we see that sustainable practices are a class apart practices which is adopted in tourism as well. So sustainable tourism can be defined as a tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, environmental impacts, addressing the need of visitors, the industry, the environment, and the host community. So sustainable tourism practices can be those kind of practices where we are taking care of the necessities or needs of present and future generation also. on these 3 points: economic, social, and environmental. And while taking care of these 3 points, we should always be cautious that it should address or it should fulfill the needs of the visitors also, because whenever we are talking about growth of tourism destination, basically it is for purpose of the tourist. So until unless their needs or wants are fulfilled, there is no point in developing a destination. And along with these visitors, there is an industry working, like services are there, public amenities are there. So a lot of people are there who have put up their businesses at a destination. So their profit also we need to, they should also get some profit through this business, through their businesses. And while having these kind of activities, we should not harm the environment and we should not give any kind of negative effect to the host communities. So when these things are being taken care, we can be able to say that the particular practices of tourism can be called as sustainable tourism practices. Now we shall discuss a little bit that what is the need of sustainable growth of destination, why we should look for sustainability. Is it because of just for the sake of adopting the sustainability, or there is some other kind of benefit associated with it? So when we discuss, we come to know that tourism is one of the largest industry which gives a lot of employment throughout the globe. And when we talk tourism industry, we have so many industries clubbed inside the tourism industry. For the example, there is a entire hotel industry is there, then transportation industry is there, then we have entire services available, then souvenir shops are there, or other type of public amenities services are there. So here we see that there are a lot of stakeholders of tourism industry and they all are rushing towards gaining their profit through the business. So in this continued growth, they all are looking for the um, profits, and there are a lot of stakeholders. So there should be some integration, there should be some cohesion between these stakeholders. Otherwise, it will go in heavy, or it may not be controlled by the either private parties or the government parties. So in that case, it will create a problem. It will create a havoc for the cultural, social heritage or environmental sites. Or on these perspective, we can see that it may be difficult for the local community if there is no regularities at the destination, there are no carrying capacity prediction at a tourism destination. It may be problem. We may witness that there are frequent cultural clashes or cultural differences between arguments between the local community and the tourist if we are not able to focus on these points. So because of these, there is a need of sustainable growth of destination. And when we are able to focus upon sustainability, the destination life cycle will also become long. As we know that there are 6 steps of destination life cycle we have studied in the last class. So when we are going for sustainable practices, we may assume, we can forecast that the destination life cycle will be more than other destinations. Now we shall learn that what is the importance of sustainable growth of destination. When we are applying sustainable practices at a tourism destination, what is the importance? We can do it for increasing the benefits caused by tourism for destinations. Whatever benefits we are looking from the tourism destination business, we can see that there will be increment of benefits, and benefits will be there for longer duration of time due to sustainable practices. With this, we may be able to reduce the negative impacts caused by tourism industry or the human behavior at destinations. We can also look for economic viability. That means whatever money or whatever time is invested in the name of business, we may be able to gain good amount of profit because of the economic activity. We can be also able to achieve the social equality, since tourism activities will be providing different types of businesses, different type of opportunities, different type of job opportunities to the local community. So we can be able to eradicate or reduce the poverty in the local region or in the entire region where tourism destination lies. So these are the benefits, or we can say importance of sustainable growth of destination. Now we can see there are different types of areas in which we can witness the sustainable growth or sustainable practices at a tourism destination. Or these practices can also be witnessed at different places in business, such as using the energy efficient light bulbs, which will consume less amount of electricity and which will give less harm to the environment in comparison to the old yellow colored bulbs or plain glass bulbs. Then using the most of the clothings made of linen or such kind of cloths which can be reused after a long time also. Eco-friendly cleaning products can be used irrespective of using the chemical-based products, which will harm the environment sooner or later, or using the organic fertilizers in our agricultural fields or the gardens. Water efficient low flow toilets and shower heads can be used. We can reduce the flow of the water, or we can use such kind of tap which gives less amount of water, so that water should not be wasted by the tourist or the local communities at a destination. That can be done. Then serve locally grown food, organic. We can go for organic farming. We can serve the locally grown food or vegetables to the tourist rather than bringing it from some other place, because it will again cause cost high, and it will use the maybe the petrol, diesel, or any automobile vehicles will be used in bringing these things from some other place. That will again create a soil pollution, maybe the air pollution or the noise pollution also it may create. Then using the organic manures, irrespective of using the fertilizers. So these are the things which we can witness at a tourism destination, or which can be practiced as a tourism destination, so which we can move towards sustainable practices. So we will stop till here for today's class, and in the next class we are going to discuss about carrying capacity of a destination, where we will learn how to discuss about the different types of carrying capacity, that how a destination can have a limited number of tourists rather than having a number of tourist visitors per day. Thank you very much.